Welcome back to the channel, the PROWIRC method, beating the January blues. Can we do it? Let's try. What causes the January blues? A lot of people say it's the letdown after the holidays, letdown after New Year's. Some people say it's Christmas bills. There's a lot of ideas about that. I've looked into it a little deeper because I've also felt the effect in January, somewhere along the line, where you just feel like, I don't know, the mountain gets a little taller and your energy seems like it's in short supply for the start of the year. But I've come up with a couple of little exercises that have really helped me, and I hope to help you with this. First of all, what really do we think is putting a person into the January blues? Myself, I think it's because it's such a big transitional period. So transitional periods are typically stressful in your life. If you're moving, if you're changing jobs, a change in relationship status, anything like that, as we know, it can be stressful. It can exhaust you. It can wear you down a little. But, what's the transition? In January, the transition is the first of the year. We just went from last year to this year. And then we reflect. So last year, let's think about last year for a second. We're reflecting on that. Let's see. Last year, we had wins and we had losses. We had accomplishments. We had some defeats. We had things we felt good about, and we had some regrets, right? Is that how you're thinking about last year? Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? No. During the January blues, here's how you're thinking about last year. You're just thinking about the losses, the defeats, the regrets. So our first exercise is to help get rid of that. And it's simply just to put down a couple of columns, and one is we're going to put down the columns with the losses, defeats, regrets column, and in the other column to the right we're going to put the accomplishments, the things that made us feel good, and the wins, right? So the next thing we're going to do is, we're gonna jot down as many of those wins and accomplishments and things as we can do, and it's sort of the good moments from last year where you think, oh wow, that really went my way, or I was happy with that, or I did something I was happy with, had a good time, with someone, a family member or something, anything good that happened. But anyway, make a list of that. And then in the other list, yes, okay, in the second list, let's put the losses, the thing that didn't go your way, the defeats. It's like, I thought this was going to work out. It didn't. The regrets, I could have handled that better. Right? So let's make the two lists and fill them out. Now, here's what we're going to do with this. What we're going to do with this is, every time our mind serves us up the ones from the losses list, we're just going to push that away, and we're going to think of something from the other list. So the losses list you won't need to carry with you. I feel your brain serves that up to you enough. I mean, am I the only one? I think the January blues is filled with the, being served up everything that you regret. Not only from last year, but from your entire life. It could be something so insignificant that no other person in the entire world would know about it. You probably have not even talked about some of these things to anyone. It's a personal feeling. It's a personal thought. But, it's a regret, and it's there, and it just gnaws at you. Yeah. January blues. You're thinking about all that. So when these things come along and they're kind of pushing in on you, you just gently push that away, and you've got your list of the things that went your way last year, the things you were happy with, the things, those moments you enjoyed, you're proud about, happy about, It could be any part of your life, but keep that little list. And anytime those things come onto you, just simply, okay, have 1, 2, 3, top 3 things, 4 things that you enjoyed from last year, you were happy about with yourself, your accomplishments, your life, your moments, and focus on that. And just get in the habit of that. Get in the habit of pushing away those thoughts that remind you of the downtime, and bring in the thought that says, hey, I had some wins last year. I have to feel good about that. I don't know. You remember when you're telling your kids when they're little how to get over the fear of the boogeyman, and I think that, I don't know how many people have used this technique. I used it with my kids, and I think that when we're all little kids, you got the thing. You go to bed. It's dark. The boogeyman, is he under the bed? Is he this? Is he that? Whatever. So what I told my kids was, you know what? Don't feed the boogeyman. In other words, don't feed the monster in the closet. Don't feed that stuff. When you go to bed and you think, hey, is there a boogeyman under the bed? Is there a monster in the closet? Just say, you know what? No, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to think about what a great day I had, and I'm just going to think about what a great sleep I'm going to have, and just go to sleep. Don't feed the boogeyman. The more you feed it, the bigger it gets. So let's think about last year, the wins, the losses. Every time the losses come to mind, last year, the year before, whatever, and they all come in January, think about your wins. Think about the good things that happened. Think about the good times you had with your good relationships. Think about those things. And push those things into your consciousness. And get your consciousness out of the habit of serving you up a bunch of crap to think about. And you get it into the habit of thinking about what you want to think about, which is your wins, and and that type of thing. So that's one of the areas that we're going to fix. And now we're going to get into the other part, which is, how do we handle this transitional time? Okay, we've thought about last year. We're not feeding the boogeyman. We're going to get in a better mindset. And now we're going to think about this year. But why is it suddenly so overwhelming in January? Because it's the only time of the year you think of the whole year at one time. Did you ever think about that? Most weeks of the year, you're thinking, what can I do this week to move my goals ahead? What can I do this week to survive? What can I do this week just to honestly, to feel good and feel like I'm accomplishing something? What can I do, today? And rarely in the year do you think, oh my God, here's the whole year in front of me. Here's all the things I want to do. Here's the mountain that I got to climb. And look at the whole thing at once. It can be overwhelming. And, the interesting thing about that is that we're all in one or two groups at the first of the year. Either we've thought about, oh, these are all the things I want to accomplish this year, or we haven't thought about it at all yet. And either of those groups can be stressed, and it can be overwhelming, because now you're looking at the whole year. I haven't made all my plans yet. That's stressful. Or I've made all my plans and, oh my God, I have so much to do this year. If I'm going to accomplish all the things I set out to do, I'm really going to be hopping here. And I'm going to need more energy than I feel right now while I had the January blues. Anyhow, so, that's where we're going to do one. If you're on the list of people that have not thought about, what you're going to do this year, let's use the creative exercise that we always use here. And you're basically going to go, let's make a long list and just things that come on the top of our head. Write down 10 or 15 items. Would it be great if I did this year, if I accomplished this year, whatever, and just write them down. And it doesn't matter how they pop into your head or what they are or in what category they are or anything to do with that. Just do a great big list. This is our creative process. And then we look back at that list and think, what are the 4 or 5 or 6 or 3 or whatever things? What's a shorter list from here that I'd be really happy with, and think, okay, if I accomplish those things this year, I feel really good. Now, for the people that have already thought about this year. They've already got a big list. This is really, that part's for the people that haven't thought about it and they're stressed about that. So now you got a few items to think about. But the next thing we got to do here to get rid of the January blues is stop thinking about the whole year now. Just take that list of things and first of all say, okay, here's a few things I really want to accomplish this year. What could I actually do today to move one of these things forward? What can I do this week to move one of these things forward? What can I do this month to move these things forward? And think about that. Get back into a thing you can control. Now you have a mindset that you're like, instead of listening to, all your regrets from last year, you're starting to think about your wins, and you're counting the things that you felt good about, and you're getting your mind straight there. And now when we look at this year, we got the list of things we'd like to do. We think, what can we do in the next week, the next couple of weeks, and just in the next month? And then put the big list away for the year. Let's just get back to, let me have a win today. So in the PROWIRC method, from the book Happiness and Well-Being Through Balance and Progress, the PROWIRC method, we really try to, we have a number of areas of life. Obviously, PROWIRC stands for your power, your relationships, your organization, your wealth, your image, your relaxation, and creativity. That's what PROWIRC stands for. From the PROWIRC method and from the book. And basically, really, the simple thing we really try to do is just keep those 7 areas of your life in progress. Now, we do have, I have a workbook here for that. If you'd like to get a little deeper and have the good feelings rolling on this year, on the website, the PROWIRC method, I've got a workbook here. And as you can see, it's about 22 pages. It's just 22 pages of your own reflections, but also it's using all the ideas from the book, Happiness and Well-Being Through Balance and Progress, the PROWIRC method, which is available on Amazon. And but it brings them right down to, it takes this, which gives you all the concepts and ideas, and there's some narrative things in there and stories and things that make you think. But in this, it's just the exercises, from the book. So when you're thinking about that year, and you're thinking, boy, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. If you'd like to think about it a little bit deeper, to actually have a better year than any other year, we're also going to have to think about what not to do. We're going to have to think about, what some of the goals that I've chased down that kind of led me on a wild goose chase. So what this PROWIRC method exercise booklet does, it helps you to study what's important to you and think about what's important to you, and you come up with a mission statement and those kinds of things, so that you can actually have a compass to say, this year, I was thinking about accomplishing that and accomplishing this, and that one item over there, that goal, it doesn't relate to any of the things that I want to do in the big picture of my life. So, wow, I got some time back. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. Actually, on a weekly basis, when this exercise booklet is just helping you get progress in these 7 areas on a weekly basis, one of the things it's helping you do is cut out all the time wasters, cut out all the wild goose chases. And, if you just do that this year, you're going to have a great year. You're going to have a lot of time left over. You're going to have a lot of energy left over. And you're going to have the power to do these things. So let's not only beat the January blues, let's move on then to deciding what is important to us for this year. Maybe if you'd like to take a look at the website, theprowirkmethod.com, and there's a couple of exercise booklets on there. But again, one is just simply to go along with the book. Now, on the website there, that's $3. So, I don't know a person that is probably not able to invest $3 in their time, in their self. And also, these days it costs money to print books and that kind of thing. So, the paperback book is like $24 something. But, the ebook is like $10. And so, and that's in Canada or the U.S. So there you go. You can look into that. Today, I hope we gave you a couple of ideas to defeat the January blues. Thanks for returning to the channel, and hope to see you soon.